And I know that you choose your words carefully. We talked to Steve Sands about this, of what kind of comeback this is. Not just golf, and I mentioned Ben Hogan, who nearly died, but a lot of this with Tiger was self-inflicted, but still, it's still a incredible comeback. And can you label it the greatest sports comeback of all time?
Yeah, it's difficult, and it was so crazy yesterday that it would have been nicer to have a little more time to try to put that in perspective. But here's what I would say about comebacks, and anybody that argues that this wasn't one of the greatest, if not the greatest. You could talk about Ben Hogan. That was a near-death experience, obviously, and you can bring in all sorts of others, Muhammad Ali and Monica Seles, but no one comes close to going through the public scrutiny and the humiliation, again, brought on by Tiger. But you have to factor that in this day and age of social media, and not only the original downfall back in November of the fire hydrant episode, but just 16 months ago with the mugshot that made its way around the internet. You cannot deny that the physical comeback, the 4 back surgeries, all the knee surgeries, and all that physical stuff is huge. But no one has gone through that kind of humiliation, and it's so important, obviously, for any athlete to have confidence and feel that way, and that's what Tiger built his entire career on, was having that impenetrable confidence that he was going to get it done. That was all torn to the ground. He had to build it up. It's not the same as it was, and it never will be, but it had to get to a point where he could have the confidence in his game to put it out there in a big tournament like yesterday and get it done. So comebacks, no one's come back from that kind of thing.
And also, you have the Ryder Cup coming up. I don't know if there's a hangover or is it momentum for the U.S. team, because you saw a lot of those golfers who stayed just to congratulate him, that it just feels, the Ryder Cup feels a little different now, because now you got the hammer there, whereas you couldn't count on anybody in that U.S. lineup where you go, I can count on. It feels like Tiger is back to and his Ryder Cup record is not great, but still, I'm curious about that momentum as you guys go to France. What do you expect?
Yeah, it's always tough to gauge. There's been a lot of golf played this stretch of the season. Tiger's played more golf than he has in 5-6 years. Jordan Spieth was not even a part of the Tour Championship, so he's gotten rested. But most of these guys, the majority of the guys that you saw compete in the Tour Championship this week from Europe and the U.S., have played a lot of golf. And you never know what's going to happen over there. Patrick Reed wasn't on his game at the Tour Championship, but he's a guy that's thrived in the Ryder Cup atmosphere. And Tiger, we'll see. It's going to be really interesting, because I think you could throw out the book on form. I think you can throw out the book on what history, what Tiger's record is, even what Phil's record is. And Phil Mickelson's record is certainly not stellar, but he's played on more Ryder Cups now, or will, than anybody in the history of the sport. And I just think that the moon and the stars are aligned with everybody that's been playing so well for the most part, and what both teams are comprised of, the stars and the personalities, and Tiger and Phil back. This is probably going to be the last time you see Tiger and Phil on a Ryder Cup team. I just don't think that Phil is. I think this is Phil's last run. So enjoy it. Just like we enjoyed Tiger's victory yesterday. You never know how many there's going to be. And enjoy this Ryder Cup, because this is going to be pretty special, I think.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV or download the Dan Patrick Show app.